Everybody needs a break. And in the Torah, we are given a lot of them. In fact, we're given one every week with Shabbat, a time to step back from the working world, to re-energize, reinvigorate ourselves and prepare ourselves for the rest of the week. But then every 7 years, we have something called Shemitah, the sabbatical year, where the land itself, the farmers are also not working their land, so the land has a chance to literally rest, reinvigorate, and regain all of its nutrients. But then every 50 years, there's an even more special super Shabbos, and it's called a Yovel, and it's talked about in this week's double parasha of Behar Bechukotai, 25th chapter. It says, "Vehavarta shofar trua b'chodesh hashvi," and you should blow the shofar in the 7th month, ba'asur lachodesh, on the 10th of the month, b'yom ha'kippurim ta'aviru shofar bechol artzechem, and you have the horn sounded throughout all of the land. Now the Yovel year is not just like a Shemitah year where the land rests, but if you bought land from everybody else, it goes back to the original owner, and also all Hebrew slaves. It doesn't matter whether they have a couple years left on their contract, they're all set free. This is beautiful, and you can see this "let freedom ring," literally blow the shofar, and all the workers know that they're free to go. This is also on the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania from 1750. But there's an interesting question that a lot of people don't think about here, which is, when we talk about the 50th year of Yovel, when does the year start? On Rosh Hashanah, of course, on the 1st of the month of Tishrei, except this pasuk just said that we announce freedom on the 10th of the month, on Yom Kippur. So what's going on there? Why this 10-day delay? So Rav Avraham Yitzchak HaKohen Cook brings up a source from the Talmud in Rosh Hashanah. And what it says is, during those 10 days, from the beginning of the Yovel year until the shofar is sounded and all the slaves are allowed to go free, during those 10 days, the slaves are not set free, but they're not working anymore. So they're in this transitionary period. What are they doing? They're partying. They're having meals with their masters. They're repairing the relationships. They have been, even if they've been treated well, they've still been lowered as a people. They can't think of themselves as free yet. So they need to be brought up to be equalized with their masters to the point where they're not masters. They're fellows at that point. And I think there's a very powerful message that we can take here is it's not just enough to stop something and say, oh, we're not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to stop working, 1 day a week, and then I'm going to be fine for the rest of the week. We really need to stop and think about what our week was like. We need to do some reparative work. We can't just stop a behavior and then assume everything will go back to normal. Often, after a long time of a traumatic experience, that trauma stays with us. Just like the broken tablets, the Luchot, the Aseret Hadibrot that Moshe smashed down, we literally carried those with us in the Aron HaKodesh, in the Ark of the Covenant. We carry our brokenness with us. And unless we take some time to repair and to face it and to process it, we can never truly step away from it. So the Torah recognizes that even though the moment the Yovel comes in, the slaves should just be set free, they may not be ready to just go back into the world. There's a lot that they need to face. They might even have some anger at their owners for what they've done. But if they're given a chance, and how appropriate that chance is between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, the 10 days of repentance, that reparative time is so necessary to be able to then move back into the world. And we can apply this to so many changes in our lives, whether it's simply taking a break on Shabbos, but actually thinking about how has the week exhausted us? How can we make the next week better? But also major changes in society. We're going to make, God willing, so many changes in laws to assist with policing, with systemic racism. But it's not enough to say, boom, it's illegal, move on. We need to take the time to talk about it and process it, to understand how we got here, because if we don't, the chances are we're going to end up making the same mistakes again. But if you take those 10 days to come together and to really think about and repair and face what you have gone through, then you will be ready after that time, after that hard work, to truly be free. With that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and be well.